Hello, today we're going to talk about a couple of basic image processing terms, and then I'm going to show you how to merge and split a red, green, and blue image, as well as apply a filter to sharpen the image. So to start off, 2D images are made up of pixels. Pixels are the smallest unit of an image. Each pixel has a value of 0 to 155. So, for instance, in this image here, this particular pixel has a value of 60. If it were completely black, it would have a value of 0, and if it was completely white, it would have a value of 255. You can alter the value of these by applying filters. Filters are used to alter and enhance images based on what you need from the picture. So if I were going to show that, if I go to filters and apply a blur, if you look at this red number when I click on preview, it's going to change. And if I unclick it, it's going to change back. So that's how you would apply a blur or change the value of a pixel. Pixels in a grayscale have 8 bits of information and require 8 bits of memory. So because grayscales only have that 8 bits, all you have to do is multiply the resolution by the two numbers and then divide that by 1024 twice. And because these is not a complex image, it only requires 1.2 megabytes of memory. Red, green, and blue images, on the other hand, require larger amount of memory because each pixel has 3 different values. 74 for red, and this particular picture has 74 for red, 62 for green, and 14 for blue. And this picture has 4.6 megabytes of information, and it needs that much storage for it. If you start layering and stacking on top of this image, you will then start to increase that number. Spatial resolution is the number of pixels used to build an image. Spatial resolution is used to distinguish between 2 points of an image. According to our textbook, it's the smallest distance between 2 features without appearing as one. Having too small of a spatial resolution, like in this image, will make the image blurry and everything runs together. There's no definition. If you have too large of a spatial resolution, like in here, you can still have the definition, but it's going to look grainy as opposed to this picture here. Now the difference between 2D and 3D images is that 2D images appear flat, like in this grayscale image. It doesn't look like it's popping off the screen or anything, as opposed to this image here. So 3D images uses voxels instead of pixels. Voxels have that third dimension of like depth or volume, and that can be seen from this picture if you use the 3D plugin. And now you can see how the voxel has that depth here, depending on where you're at in that image. So now I'm going to show you how to split and merge an RGB image. So for this image, if you were in like fluorescent microscopy and you were trying to study the cell and you wanted to get an accurate measurement for this part of the cell, it would be kind of hard right now because it kind of blends in together. So you want to separate the red from the green and the blue. To do that, you go to Image, Color, Split Channels, and everything's going to come out into a grayscale. But you can see how now you can see that red part of the cell really well. If you go back to Image, Color, and Merge, the colors go back together. And the original picture is there. Now, if you do that one more time, to split the image and split the channels, you're going to have the blue, the green, and the red. Now you can go over here to analyze, now you can analyze this part of the cell and measure it by going to Analyze and Measure. And it's going to show you how many pixels in length. You can set the scale if you wanted to show that, let's say that's 10 nanometers, so if you go to Analyze and Set Scale and do known distance of 10 and set your unit to nanometers, now when you go to measure, it's going to show 10 nanometers. Now we're going to apply that to this blue image. We're going to make this a little sharper. So to do that, you go to Process, Filters, Unsharp Mask. Click on that. So this is kind of a drastic change when I click on Preview. But we're not going to want to do that much. So we're going to go to maybe 25 pixels and click Preview. That looks better. I'm happy with that. So if you click on OK, and now since it's got that nice definition, you can go to go back to that image, go to Colors and Merge Channels again. And click OK. Now that image has got a more defined blue area in that image.